bad, not bad. Let's see what the camera's over here. Keep the camera right there. Just got done at the gym. Now we're back home.
Is chasing updates and getting nowhere. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert, doing it all for you.
Let me ask you, if I may, about Grigori Perelman. You mentioned that you try to be careful in your work and not let a problem completely consume you. Just you really fall in love with the problem and really cannot rest until you solve it. But you also hasted to add that sometimes this approach actually can be very successful. An example you gave is Grigori Perelman, who proved the Poincare conjecture and did so by working alone for 7 years with basically little contact with the outside world. Can you explain this one Millennium Prize problem that's been solved, Poincare conjecture, and maybe speak to the journey that Grigori Perelman's been on?
All right, so it's the question about curved spaces. Earth is a good example. So Earth, you can think of as a 2D surface. In addition to being round, it could maybe be a torus with a hole in it, or it can have many holes. And there are many different topologies a priori that a surface could have, even if you assume that it's bounded and smooth and so forth. So we have figured out how to classify surfaces. As a first approximation, everything's determined by something called the genus, how many holes it has. So a sphere has genus 0, a donut has genus 1, and so forth. And one way you can tell these surfaces apart, probably the sphere has, which is called simply connected. If you take any closed loop on the sphere, like a big closed loop rope, you can contract it to a point and while staying on the surface. And the sphere has this property.
Yo, what's up? Panic Light.
And you take a rope that goes around
What's good?
the outer diameter. There's no way, it can't get through the hole. There's no way to contract it to a point. So it turns out that the sphere is the only surface with this property of contractibility, up to like continuous deformations of the sphere. So things that are what are called topologically equivalent to the sphere. So Poincare asked the same question in higher dimensions. So it becomes hard to visualize because surface you can think of as embedded in 3 dimensions, but a curved free space, we don't have good intuition of 4D space to live in. And there are also 3D spaces that can't even fit into 4 dimensions. You need 5 or 6 or higher. But anyway, mathematically you can still pose this question, that if you have a bounded 3-dimensional space now, which also has this simply connected property, that every loop can be contracted, can you turn it into a 3-dimensional version of the sphere? And so this is the Poincare conjecture. Weirdly, in higher dimensions, 4 and 5, it was actually easier. So it was solved first in higher dimensions. There's somehow more room to do the deformation. It's easier to move things around to be a sphere. But 3 was really hard. So people tried many approaches. There's sort of combinatorial approaches where you chop up the surface into little triangles or tetrahedra, and you just try to argue based on how the faces interact with each other. There were algebraic approaches. There's various algebraic objects, like things called the fundamental group, that you can attach to these homology and cohomology and all these very fancy tools. They also didn't quite work. But Richard Hamilton's proposed a partial differential equations approach. So you take so the problem is that you have this object which is sort of secretly is a sphere, but it's given to you in a really in a weird way. So like I think of a ball that's been kind of crumpled up and twisted, and it's not obvious that it's a ball. Like if you have some sort of surface which is a deformed sphere, you could for example think of it as the surface of a balloon. You could try to inflate it. You pull it up, And naturally, as you fill it with air, the wrinkles will sort of smooth out, and it will turn into a nice round sphere. Unless, of course, it was a torus or something, in which case it would get stuck at some point. Like if you inflate a torus, there'll be a point in the middle. When the inner ring shrinks to zero, you get a singularity, and you can't blow up any further. You can't flow any further. So he created this flow, which is now called Ricci flow, which is a way of taking an arbitrary surface or space and smoothing it out to make it rounder and rounder, to make it look like a sphere. And he wanted to show that either this process would give you a sphere or it would create a singularity. Actually, very much like how PDEs either they have global regularity or finite and blow up. Actually, basically, it's almost exactly the same thing. It's all connected. And he showed that for two-dimensional surfaces, if you started something connected, no singularities ever formed. You never ran into trouble, and you could float, and it will give you a sphere. And so he got a new proof of the two-dimensional result.
But by the way, that's a beautiful explanation of Ricci flow and its application in this context. How difficult is the mathematics here, like for the 2D case? Is it?
Yeah, these are quite sophisticated equations on par with the Einstein equations. Okay. It's slightly simpler, but but they were considered hard nonlinear equations to solve. And there's lots of special tricks in 2D that helped. But in 3D, the problem was that this equation was actually supercritical. So it has the same problem as Navier-Stokes. As you blow up, maybe the curvature could get concentrated in finer, smaller regions, and it looked more and more nonlinear, and things just looked worse and worse. And there could be all kinds of singularities that showed up. Some singularities, like if you, there's these things called neck pinches, where the surface sort of behaves like a barbell, and it pinches at a point. Some singularities are simple enough that you can sort of see what to do next. You just make a snip, and then you can turn one surface into two and evolve them separately. But there was the prospect that there's some really nasty, like knotted singularities showed up that you couldn't see how to resolve in any way, that you couldn't do any surgery to. So you need to classify all the singularities, like what are all the possible ways that things can go wrong. So what Perelman did was, first of all, he made the problem, he turned the problem from a supercritical problem to a critical problem. I said before about how the invention of energy, the Hamiltonian, like really clarified Newtonian mechanics.
Check.
Introduced something which is now called Perelman's reduced volume and Perelman's entropy. He introduced new quantities, kind of like energy, that looked the same at every single scale, and turned the problem into a critical one where the nonlinearities actually suddenly looked a lot less scary than they did before. And then he still had to analyze the singularities of this critical problem. And that itself was a problem similar to this wave math thing I worked on, actually. So on the level of difficulty of that, so he managed to classify all the singularities of this problem and show how to apply surgery to each of these, and through that was able to resolve the Poincare conjecture. So,
just you, building your app on base 44.
Quite like a lot of really ambitious steps, and like nothing that a large language model today, for example, could. I mean, at best, I could imagine proposing this idea as one of hundreds of different things to try. But the other 99 would be complete dead ends, but you'd only find out after months of work. He must have had some sense that this was the right track to pursue, because it takes years to get from A to B.
So you've done, like you said, actually, just even strictly mathematically, but more broadly in terms of the process, you've done similarly difficult things. What can you infer from the process he was going through? Because he was doing it alone. What are some low points in a process like that? When you start to, like, you've mentioned hardship, like AI doesn't know when it's failing. What happens to you? You're sitting in your office when you realize the thing you did for the last few days, maybe weeks, is a failure.
Well, for me, I switched to a different problem. As I said, I'm a fox. I'm not a hedgehog.
But you legitimately, that is a break that you can take, is to step away and look at a different problem.
Yeah. You can modify the problem too. I mean, you can add some cheat. If there's a specific thing that's blocking you, that this, some bad case keeps showing up that for which your tool doesn't work, you can just assume by fiat this bad case doesn't occur. So you do some magical thinking, but strategically, okay, for the point to see if the rest of the argument goes through. If there's multiple problems with your approach, then maybe you just give up. Okay? But if this is the only problem, and everything else checks out, then it's still worth fighting. So yeah, you you have to do some sort of forward reconnaissance sometimes.
And that is sometimes productive to assume like, okay, we'll figure it out
Oh yeah.
eventually.
Sometimes actually it's even productive to make mistakes. So one of the, there was a project which actually we won some prizes for. With 4 other people, we worked on this PDE problem. Again, actually this law of regularity type problem, and it was considered very hard. Jean Bourgain was another field specialist who worked on a special case of this, but he could not solve the general case. And we worked on this problem for 2 months, and we thought we solved it. We had this cute argument that everything fit, and we were excited. We were planning celebrationary to all get together and have champagne or something. And we started writing it up, and one of us, not me actually, but another co-author, said, "Oh, in this lemma here, we have to estimate these 13 terms that show up in this expansion, and we estimate 12 of them, but in our notes I can't find the estimation of the 13th. Can someone supply that?" And I said, "Sure, I'll look at this." And actually, oh yeah, we didn't cover that. We completely omitted this term, and this term turned out to be worse than the other 12 terms put together. In fact, we could not estimate this term. And we tried for a few
What's up,
months,
Letitia?
and all different permutations, and there was always this one thing.
What's
one term we could
good?
not control. And so this was very frustrating. But because we had already invested months and months of effort in this already,
I'm doing
we
good,
stuck at this.
dude.
We tried increasingly desperate things and crazy things. And after 2 years, we found an approach which was somewhat different, quite a bit from our initial strategy, which did
I
actually
can't
generate
complain.
these problematic terms and actually solve the problem. So we solved the problem after 2 years. But if we hadn't had that initial false dawn of nearly solving the problem, we would have given up by month 2 or something and worked on an easier problem. If we had known it would take 2 years, not sure we would have started the project. Sometimes actually having the incorrect,
Isolation for approximately 7 to 8 years on the point area, specifically focusing on it between 1995 and 2002. So he would have been 29 when he worked on it. Around there. I was playing a femboy game on Roblox. Was fire. That's fucking lame. But you do you, man. You do you, bro. It's not lame. It is lame. Want to say hi to Nate? No. No, I don't want to say hi to Nate.
It's like Columbus for a few months, and we found. I'm a fox. I'm not a hedgehog.
But you legitimately, that is a break that you can take, is to step away and look at a different problem.
Yeah, you can modify the problem too. You can add some cheat. If there's a specific thing that's blocking you, that this, some bad case keeps showing up that for which your tool doesn't work, you can just assume by fiat this bad case doesn't occur. So you do some magical thinking. But strategically, okay, to see if the rest of the argument goes through. If there's multiple problems with your approach, then maybe you just give up. But if this is the only problem, and everything else checks out, then it's still worth fighting. You have to do some sort of.
I'm flexing on him right now.
And that is sometimes productive to assume like, okay, we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah.
Eventually.
Sometimes actually it's even productive to make mistakes. So one of the, there was a project which actually we won some prizes for. So that, with 4 other people, we worked on this PDE problem. Again, actually, this blow-off regularity type problem. And it was considered very hard. Jean Bourgain, who was another fields methodist, who worked on a special case of this, but he could not solve the general case. And we worked on this problem for 2 months, and we thought we solved it. We had this cute argument that everything fit. We were excited. We were planning celebrationary to all get together.
I think at some point I'm gonna start putting a shirt on, because I feel like I'm at a point where I like my physique a lot now, and now that I'm kind of appreciated for looking good, I want to start delving more into mathematics and intellectual pursuits rather than just working out on my body. So I'm gonna start putting shirts on soon.
Have champagne or something. And we started writing it up, and one of us, not me actually, but another co-author, said, in this lemma here, we have to estimate these 13 terms that show up in this expansion. And we estimate 12 of them, but in our notes I can't find the estimation of the 13th. Can you? I'm super critical.
The Mediterranean diet is the world's healthiest diet, and Factor makes it easy to eat that way every day.
A problem to a critical problem. I said before about how the invention of energy, the Hamiltonian, really clarified Newtonian mechanics. So he introduced something which is now called Perelman's reduced volume and Perelman's entropy. He introduced new quantities, kind of like energy, that looked the same at every single scale, and turned the problem into a critical one where the nonlinearities actually suddenly looked a lot less scary than they did before. And then he still had to analyze the singularities of this critical problem. And that itself was a problem similar to this wave maps thing I worked on, actually. So on the level of difficulty of that, so he managed to classify all the singularities of this problem and show how to apply surgery to each of these, and through that was able to resolve the Poincare conjecture. So quite like a lot of really ambitious steps, and like nothing that a large language model today, for example, could. I mean, at best, I could imagine one proposing this idea as one of hundreds of different things to try. But the other 99 would be complete dead ends, but you'd only find out after months of work. He must have had some sense that this was the right track to pursue, because it takes years to get from A to B.
So you've done, like you said, actually, even strictly mathematically, but more broadly in terms of the process, you've done similarly difficult things. What can you infer from the process he was going through? Because he was doing it alone. What are some low points in the process like?
You guys want to know what my dream is? I want to be poor and live in a small room and do nothing but math and read history and philosophy and write books on math, history, science, and philosophy. And I want to have a nice broad work of all these things, and also exercise, of course. That's what I want. I want to write books and solve equations and write about philosophy and make stories and draw. I like to make a lot of artwork and make things in my little room, and just avoid all earthly stuff, like avoid money, avoid popularity, avoid drugs, alcohol, and temptations. That's what I want. I want that. I want to live in solitude and achieve things in solitude. That's what I want.
That when you start to you've mentioned hardship, AI doesn't know when it's failing. What happens to you? You're sitting in your office when you realize the thing you did for the last few days, maybe weeks, is a failure.
Well, for me, I switched to a different problem. I'm a fox. I'm not a hedgehog.
But you legitimately, that is a break that you can take, is to step away and look at a different problem.
Yeah. You can modify the problem too. You can add some cheat. If there's a specific thing that's blocking you, that this some bad case keeps showing up that for which your tool doesn't work, you can just assume by fiat this bad case doesn't occur. So you do some magical thinking, for the but strategically, okay, for the point to see if the rest of the argument goes through. If it
You guys want to see a drawing I made today? This notebook's like falling apart. But look. What do you think? Maybe I should scan it into my printer so you guys can see it on my screen. Let me go do that actually. Schizo type shit, but I love it. What do you mean schizo type shit? You didn't even see it that well. Let me show you. What? Tell me why you think it's schizo. Tell me why. Tell me why you think it's schizo. Cause it came from you? Bitch, shut the fuck up. Bitch, shut the fuck up. And back the fuck up. Bitch, shut the fuck up. And back the fuck up. Bitch, shut the fuck up. And back the fuck up. While we fuck this track up. Okay. Alright. Bitch, shut the fuck up. And back the fuck up. You don't know me. But you don't know me though. But you don't hear me though. The fuck? Where's the new shit? Hello? Where the fuck is it? Letitia better shut the fuck up before she gets smacked the fuck up. I'm just kidding. Guys, please be quiet. Being broke is like so good for you, man. Like not broke, but not having a lot of money is good for you. Not having a lot of money is good for you. Like, I feel like God chooses like men who don't care about material things in life, you know. If guys are like focused on like women, money, drugs, power, their ego, or anything like pleasure, they're never going to tap into that divine creativity that makes miracles, you know. But if you throw all that shit away and you show that you care about your soul more than anything else in this life, you will be ascending to a higher plane. You will make discoveries that no one saw before. Your mind will expand to these new territories and these new realms that no one has even entertained or fathomed before. Like all these great men in history, these intellectual, scientific, brilliant men, they were very spiritual and very religious, you know. And these guys, I think, when they put themselves in these isolated areas away from society and they get rid of all the temptations and all the money and all the shit, and they just sit with themselves and work on something for years, long time, they make things that no one else has ever even made before. And I think that's where the good shit is. That's how you make your soul, you know, manifest in this world. Everyone else is lost, you know. You follow these destructive things and you just live a destructive life and you're going to be disappointed and not happy. But if you live like, if you strip it all away, suddenly everything opens up. It's ironic. Everything expands when you close yourself off to all these things that try to grab you, you know. Where is this scan at, bro? Why did you put that emoji in there? Why are you acting like I'm not spitting facts right now? Why you be acting like I'm not spitting? See, girls notice this stuff too because girls, they know when a guy is elevating, okay? Because they want to take him down. Girls are like, look at this man over here. He's ascending. He's like an angel. We gotta rip him down. Quick, rip him down. Grab his legs. He's ascending. No. That's what girls do. They're like, oh, you're trying to get closer to God? Oh, well, here's my ass. Like, no, take that out of here. I sprint away from the ass, okay? I don't want that shit. Throw it in the dumpster, okay? I'm here because I got work to do. What are you even talking about, bud? You know what I'm talking about. Don't play stupid. I sprint away from the cheeks, okay? Because I know it's bad for me. What's going on here? Alright, how do I wish you could crop this, like, in... You can't crop it. This is so lame. Scan text. Oh, you can crop it. Okay, great. You don't get the picture, so you bitches getting cropped. You don't get the picture, so you bitches getting cropped. You came. Nate, I'm gonna call you a slur. You guys don't think girls like to be temptresses or whatever the hell they call them? Girls like that shit. It's annoying. They like, oh, I'm gonna try to mess with him. I'm gonna try to mess with him. No. Sorry. But you can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. Look at my drawing. Do you guys like my drawing? Do you guys like my drawing? Do you guys like my drawing? It's not schizo. How is it schizo? Tell me one thing that makes it schizo. Tell me one thing that makes it schizo. Tell me one thing that makes this drawing schizo. You? Nah, that's not a good enough answer. You find it cool? I'm not gonna lie, that girl's kind of ugly to me now. Like, I feel like her soul is not good. I feel like her soul wasn't good. Like, when a girl gets, like, tattoos, and, okay, if you're gonna spam it, I'm gonna fucking mute you guys. You know what? I'm gonna just get rid of the fucking emote, because you guys are being irresponsible now. You guys are being irresponsible with the emotes, so now I gotta change it. Yeah, I'm changing the emote. Because, first of all, it's weird to have her face on my shit anyways. It's just not... It's not nice. So I'm gonna fucking remove it. She's not ugly, but her soul needs work. That's all. You know, everyone's pretty in their own way. Okay, so let me see here. I was actually going to give you guys a new emote too soon. All right, so we're gonna remove Fetty. That's gone now. You guys can't have it anymore. It's not nice. I don't like doing that. But don't worry, we're gonna add a new one. I know just the one. I know just the one for you all. I need to find my iPad first to make it. Also, I'm hungry. I need to go eat. Nate humps his pillows, everybody. Nate told me one time that he humps his pillows to orgasm. Nate wants to be an e-kitten on Roblox. Nate needs to leave my chat. Now what? It's real. Ask him. He does it. I only told one person that. Well, now the world knows. Now the world knows. Pervert, humping your pillows and shit, bro. Knock it off. And you, the one that tried to buy that anime pillow cover, that was a joke. I was like, that would be a funny bit. That pillow got stolen, by the way, which is the funniest part, I think, of that entire thing. Someone stole the fucking anime pillow from the office. Yeah, someone stole it, bro. But I was never gonna use it anyways. I was gonna use it one time on stream as a joke, but it never came into fruition because someone thieved it. Guys, I think Pizza B is mad at me. I think Pizza B is mad at me. I think she's angry at me. Because I unfollowed her on Twitch. I unfollowed her on Twitch and then I said that girls with a body count of 1 or more need to leave my streams. And I think that upset her. Sorry. I'm sorry. No shit. Well, I didn't know she was getting offended like that. I don't know. Oh well. To be honest, it is what it is. I know but I do apologize for that. Alright, I know just the emote to add to my stream. We're gonna put this guy in there. That's gonna be the new emote. Nate, stop humping your pillows, bro. Commence to humping. Nate said, I got a hump, bro. I'm just a teenage boy, bro. Cause I'm just a teenage dirtbag, baby. Yeah, I'm just a teenage dirtbag, baby. Let's listen to Iron Maiden, baby. Stream gone. What are you talking about? Stream here. Streams live. Nate humps his pillows while thinking of his cousin. Do you like the new emote? How did you know? Because you kind of give off the vibe, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You give off the vibe. You kind of give off the vibe of somebody that like humps their pillows. By the way, Nate, just so you know, that's not good for you, buddy. Well, at least I'm not the victim anymore. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. 'Cause Nate's just a teenage dirtbag, baby. Nate, like, do you think about your cousin, bro, when you do that stuff? Like, you should feel, like, ashamed a little bit. Like, just a little bit. It's not good for you, bro. Don't worry, you're in there too, Tisha, the list. The list, what list? His kill list. His list of people to kill. His list of people whose face he wants to print out and put on his pillow. To hump. Like a dog. Nate, you gotta stop humping your pillows, bro. This is gonna be a great emote. Look at that. Oh yeah. That's a good one. Nate, if you're like humping your pillows a lot, it means you're not working enough. Like if you were to stop doing that now today, and instead like get into your like programming shit, you would be like the next Terry Davis, probably. Why do you keep thinking about that? We heard you the first time. Because it's a revelation. Nate needs to stop doing that. That's all. Alright, that looks pretty good. I have so much hobbies that I'm good at it. No, you don't, motherfucker. Let's listen to Iron Maiden, baby. 'Cause I'm just a teenage dirtbag, baby. Cause Nate's just a teenage dirtbag, baby. Let's listen to Nathan Neighbor, baby. The things I would do to that woman. Girls say some crazy stuff to me. Like, bruh. Image is not square shaped. Fine. It is square shaped, bitch. What are you talking about? There we go. Perfect. Let's listen to... Bro has a mustache now. He's going up. You have a mustache now? What a fucking pedophile. His mustache is a shock. You know, a mustache is a shock absorber for cocksuckers, right? You fucking suck cock, bro. Why is that a JPEG? What the fuck? Stupid. Okay, well, here's what's gonna happen. We gotta crop this to make it a square, so. I got 5 on it. I got 5 on it. Listen. I don't want to maintain the aspect ratio, bitch. What correlations? It's a over the lip one too. Motherfucker, ew. Dude said, I need veiny cock in my mouth. I want the mustache to go directly in my mouth when I'm eating soup and sucking cock. I'm Nathan. This is me. It's okay, Nathan. Whatever floats your boat, buddy. If that's how you want to live your life, man. Where's the correlation? Oh my god. Why can't I do... Wait. Pixels. Enough with that shit. Ah! How did I do it last time? What the fuck? I forgot how I fucking did it last time. Oh, edit. There we go. Don't get Angie Wangy now. He ain't too ugly though, so there's still hope for him. No, he's ugly as fuck, bro. Don't give him any hope at all. Don't give that motherfucker any hope. He deserves none. Okay, so I'm entering the emote name now. Alright, so we got a new emote. It's called Good Face. Check it out in the chat. See what you think. You guys like that emote? Yes. Yes, you do. Oop, great timing. What? Great timing for what? Great timing for what? $16 months. Oh shit. Thank you, Letitia, for 16 months. Thank you for not having a life and watching me for 16 months because you're a fucking weirdo. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for 16 months and wasting your life with me. Good job. I'm just kidding. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm just joking. Thank you. Mucho gracias. Thank you. Stanko mucho grande. Thank you mucho grande. My balls itch. Nathan humps his pillow and sucks dick with his mustache. That's all you need to know about Nathan. And he tries to have sex with his cousin. So he's already 3 strikes. Alright. He's already 3 strikes and out now. Three strikes. And he's out. I'm hungry. Guys, I'm hungry. Feed me. Send me money for food. Guys, send me money for food. I'm starving. Oh, I'm lazy to cook. Send me like $30. Thank you. I just want $30. You can't spare 30? Yeah, I am lazy to cook. Bitch. I am too lazy to cook. Bitch. I want that God light. I want that God light. God! Cooking is fun. No, it's not. What the fuck is Elon Musk doing, bro? Gotta check in on someone else? Fuck you. Alright, well, that's my cue to leave then, since Letitia's gotta go. Alright, guys, it was a great stream. Unfortunately, I gotta go, so I gotta get some food. So, goodbye. Goodbye.